Do you think you have the ability to win the competition?
Let's win the game. The most important thing is the West Ham game. Forget about the competition. Everything is focused on that game, really.
What are the complexities when you've played a team 1 week in the league and then you meet them again the week after in the cup?
Well, I don't think I've had this before. I don't think I've had this situation in my career where we've had to play consecutive games apart from maybe cup competitions, and that's been in between a game. So we've drawn maybe a cup game, played a league game, and then played the replay the week after. So I don't think I've ever done it where it's back to back.
One of your players, Jermaine Pennant, is being linked with a possible international call for the Republic of Ireland. Would you welcome that as a club manager?
Yeah, I think if Jermaine, if he's got any Irish connections and Ireland want him, he's been terrific for us. He's been a good player, and if obviously if they want him and Jermaine wants to play, we have a lot of players at this football club playing international football now, and I think it's just a progression. A couple of years ago, if you'd have said that there was international players playing for Stoke City, you wouldn't believe it. So if Jermaine's going to be another one, then fine, that's not a problem with me.
I know that you're always happy if your players are improving by gaining international experience, but do you not feel uncomfortable sometimes about losing them to international friendlies?
I don't like friendly matches. I've gone on record to say as saying that, but I think full-blooded games where they're playing in competitions, I think it's fantastic to represent your country.
Do you think that international friendlies should be banned? I know you've spoken about this before in the past.
No, I think what should be done, I think there should be a case that if they want to play friendly matches and want to take the players away from friendly matches, then they should pay the players' wages. And then you'll see how many friendly matches are actually played, because I think they're played generally for income-based purposes as much as anything else. And I find it hard to take when we get certain players who are picked for certain countries who are flying halfway around the world to play a game against another team, another country, and then they have to fly back in, and we're paying their wages to do that. If it's a full-blooded competition, no problems, they can fly around the world twice and play. But for friendly games, I find it difficult to take.
There is a suggestion that perhaps some of the smaller nations should be made to qualify for the qualifiers like they do in the Champions League. It might ease a bit of congestion fixture-wise internationally. Would you be an advocate of that?
I'll leave that for setback. That's sort of it's much more qualified than me.
Just actually a general question. The respect campaign that became prominent a while ago, it's come back into prominence again. Is it because managers at this delicate stage of the season are perhaps talking out about referee decisions because the longer the season goes on, the more important and the more crucial the issues are? No,
I think it's always been the case. I think there's been decisions that have been made that have been disappointing. We've been on the back end of more than most this season. We've had some very, very poor decisions. And as I've said before, I think that they have to justify, in my opinion, they have to justify the decisions they make, and they have to be subservient to everybody's opinion. You can't just wash it away. You can't just make a bad decision and then walk away in the dark as though nothing has happened. I think people have got to stand up and say, well, it's a poor decision, and can we rectify it? Can we make it better? It's human. We're dealing with human beings, so you're never going to have the perfect situation where you're going to go through a season where people are going to be, perfect all the time. But to hide behind, to walk into a darkened room and say, well, that's gone now, that's forgotten, without people talking about it, I don't think it's right. And the more that we talk, the more we can get together. Fingers crossed, we'll bring it closer, and people won't get as annoyed as maybe they are.
Should officials walk out of that darkened room and into a room like this and explain to people like us if there is a contentious issue?
Well, I've been through it. I just think that referees should be graded. They should, they should be marked, and they should be marked by football clubs and by people that they're affecting. And if they have a good season, they have a good season. You can see it there. The managers and the clubs will mark them as being good over a season. If they have a bad season, then there's got to be referees, younger referees in the Football League who can step up, and the competition then for the top 16, 17 referees, will be competitive, and that's what you need, to get better and to be progressive. You have to have competition. And at the moment, whether they referee well, badly, or indifferently, 9 times out of 10, they're refereeing again on Saturday, and over a season. So like I say, I've come out and said my views. I think there should be a standard system where we have the opportunity to mark the referees, and everybody can see what we're doing, what marks we're giving them, and it's not hidden away somewhere.
You're in the quarter-finals. You missed out last year of a place at Wembley. How hungry are your team this year to try and get there now?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for the football club. To reach a quarter-finals 2 years running, the FA Cup is fantastic achievement, and we're hoping that we will go one more or one better than what we did last year. But we got beat at West Ham on Saturday, and well beaten in the end. So it'll be a difficult game. You look at their team and their players. They've got Green, who's played for England. You've got Bridge, Upson in the back four, who are English internationals. Parker is good a midfield player, England international. You've got Cole, who's England international. Hitzelberger, who plays for Germany. The 3 forwards. They've got a. It's amazing. You look at the players. They had Keane and Abina on the bench or on the sidelines. It's amazing that West Ham have not done better than what they've done, and they've just hit form at the right time. So we know it'll be a tough game for us.
You lost to them last weekend, clearly. Will you have to make changes, not only enforce changes because you want to freshen things up for the FA Cup, but changes because of the manner of the defeat last week?
No, if I make changes, it'll be make changes to win a game of football. As I've just said, I think the big difference is the fact that we're playing at the Britannia. We're unbeaten in 6 games, last 6 games at the Brit. And our supporters, we now have the chance of playing in front of our supporters. West Ham had a very, very vocal Upton Park last week. Our place will be rocking on Sunday.
Matty Etherington was back for the game at Upton Park. He's been out for quite a while. How far away is he from being back to his best, Tony?
Well, he came on and did very well. When we brought him on, to be honest, he did very well. So, he's had a good week. And Matty's important to this football club. He's a left-sided player who's got great ability and great pace, and not only that, from wide he scores goals as well. He's got a good goal scoring record for us. So to bring him back into the fold, we've missed him for 5-6 weeks, so to bring him back into the fold is a big bonus for us.
Sorry, have you an update on contract negotiations with Thomas Sorensen?
Yeah, I think they're ongoing. I think the Thomas will be talking to Tony Scholes on that, but the club and Thomas, I think, they're desperate to get something sorted out for next season.
Is he likely to start tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll play. No, Thomas will start Sunday.
Oh, fantastic. What sort of qualities does he bring, although he's not been playing regularly?
Thomas is, we're very, very fortunate. We have 3 very, very good goalkeepers. A young goalkeeper in Begovic, who I think one day will be as good as anybody in the Premiership, and we've got Thomas, who's captain of Denmark, great experience, and Carlo Nash, who's the 3rd choice goalkeeper, who never gets mentioned, but Carlo has been fantastic here as well, great professional. So the 3 of them get on ever so well together, and it's lovely to have the 3 of them together. We're very fortunate.
Fantastic, thanks.
Tony, can I just go through the team? You said Matty said that he was fully fit again now that his back problems with his jaw and everything is sort of fully behind him. Is that the case? Do you think he's 100% fit now?
Well, he's trained this week, so like when he came on, he had 40 minutes at West Ham and did very well for us.
And what about Jermaine?
Well, Jermaine's had a little knee problem that has affected him. He came off against West Brom, and even in training yesterday, he was feeling it a little bit. So he's been carrying that little knot for a while. So we'll look at the situation on Sunday closely.
Danny Higginbottom's wife went into labour, didn't she, before the match last weekend? Is he...
Little baby boy, Josh. Everything's sorted out, so Danny should be okay.
Okay. And is there anyone else? Abdul Faye, is he still sidelined?
No, Abby's fit and available. No, everybody's fit and ready to go. Everybody wants to play in this game. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you.